All right, we are back with another Pick'em video. It is Wednesday, April 30th in the NBA. Only 2 games tonight, but we got a really good slate yesterday. We are going to go over the recap of yesterday's video picks, which you did pretty well in, and then we're going to get into the video picks for today and try to have another good day. So if that sounds cool, definitely go and leave the video a like, comment something down below, and of course subscribe if you are new. Let's hop in the recap, and then we'll talk about the injury news, if any, and projected minutes, and then we'll actually start talking about some plays. And it was a 3-in-1 day, and the one miss was Cade Cunningham coming up just short as the Pistons do win that game 5 to kind of make it a more interesting series there. 3-2 going back to Detroit now. But he was our only miss. Cade over 33.5 points and rebounds. He did only score 24 points. I thought we'd get the 26 or the 27 that we needed. And I thought he'd also rebound a little bit more, but he did grab 8 rebounds there. So just short on the one miss. But Jamal Murray absolutely crushed it. 43 points. We called the Jamal Murray game perfectly, so I was really happy about that one. Absolutely crushed his lines. Jason Tatum said the same thing. Anytime I see a line that a guy can get with his points alone practically, I'm going to look at it a little bit more, and he's been rebounding extremely well. He had 35 points, chipped in with a decent amount of rebounds as well. Really good read there. And then Bobby Portis, I love the read here. The volume he got, I think he shot 6 of 18, so 33% on the night. Gets 14 points, so we win on that one, but that one should have been an easier one because he got a lot of volume, and I don't know what happened to the Bucks the last, 20 seconds of that game, minute of that game. I have no idea what happened. That was just, if you didn't watch that game, go back and watch how the Bucks lost. It's so weird, but really good game overall. A lot of fun games overall, and I went to the Celtics game last night, and that game was close until the Celtics kind of caught fire and had a really big third quarter to extend their lead and ultimately get the win there. But yeah, a lot of fun basketball last night in the NBA. We got 2 good games tonight. Hopefully we get some good basketball and we can find some good reads. Let's hop in the plays that we're finding for today. All right, so the 2 games we got going on, the Warriors and the Rockets. That's going to be the 7:30 start. And then the later slot, the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Los Angeles Lakers. I do think the Lakers will probably make this thing a little bit more interesting. They're at home. I think they should win this game. But let's start with Golden State and the Houston Rockets. Obviously, Jimmy Butler is going to be a probable tag. He'll be out there. He'll be playing. Jayshawn Tate will not be. He's been out for this series the whole time. But a guy like Jayshawn Tate, a guy like Jabari Smith Jr., a guy like Tari Eason, I think those are the guys that really need to step up in this series. Jalen Green probably needs to step up too. I just hate his what he's been able to do against this team overall. These are the projected minutes we got going on. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Jalen Green loses more minutes. He played himself out of the rotation last game. They played better with him off the floor, and you saw guys like Amin Thompson, Alperen Sengun, and Van Vliet really step up in the positions to score the ball. Sengun had a ton of volume. I don't know if we can expect that again today, but he's obviously their go-to guy. That's the spot that they have a little bit of an advantage for, and he played pretty well. So he's got to be aggressive and stay aggressive for Ime Udoka to keep him on the floor, but he's going to get a ton of time on the floor. The only guy I'm kind of a little bit curious about is going to be Jalen Green. Is he going to get 38 minutes? Is he going to get 25 minutes again? And is he going to be able to shoot any better than he can? He's the most streaky guy out there, and really the only reason his lines are still around 15 and a half or whatever it's at right now is because of that 38-point explosion in game 2, what he's capable of, but it doesn't happen very often. And then Dylan Brooks, obviously, just pretty much there to get under people's skins. He can knock down some threes, especially here at home. On the Golden State side of things, I'm looking at Podziemski once again. I do think the best chance the Rockets have is to eliminate Steph Curry the best they can, and they got a lot of defenders they can throw at him. So Steph's going to take and make hard shots overall, but I think his volume might be a little bit too low. And we could be seeing a Steph Curry game at some point, but I really think they're going to lock in him on defense. And that is the one game that they won. They limited Steph Curry, and the game they got the closest, which was last game, Curry was limited on that one as well. So they're going to give as many bodies as they can to him and try to limit him, I think, which opens up spots for like a Brandon Podziemski. I think Quentin Post is very interesting today. His line's at 6.5, but he's been able to knock down some threes. And this Rockets defense overall is a really good spot-up defense. But when they're going to be limiting Steph Curry and throwing double teams at him and going over screens and things like that, that spot-up defense is going to be a lot worse, and that's the whole beauty of NBA basketball in the playoffs. Things they did all throughout the regular season, they're going to be changing things up to keep the teams on their toes, and I think the Rockets' only chance is really limit Steph Curry, let everyone else beat you, while we can score on the other side as well. So that's what we got going on for this first game. Let's hop into Props Madness like we always do. If you want to check out Props Madness for a free week or 25% off your first month or your first year, I guess you get all of that. Use my code in the description down below. It's code RICH. Helps out the channel when you do that, but also just lets them know that I sent you there. And again, you get the perks of the free week to check it out and 25% off your first month or your first year. And I'm very excited to use this for WNBA once that's going to be available this summer. So really excited about that. And I will start with Quentin Post. I think he's going to be my favorite play of this game. He's going to be projected around 20 minutes. He has played 12 minutes in that game one, but then we saw 25 minutes in game two, 27 minutes and 20 minutes. So he's going to be around probably the 20-minute mark, which I would think. And he's played pretty good on the time in the court that he's got. So yes, I think this could be, a closeout game, and we could see a lot of the starters playing a whole lot of minutes. But at the same time, these guys are a little bit older. If they have any sort of control, or if they need some sort of spark of offense or changing something up, a nice three-point shooter to come in, a big guy can come in here and start shooting some threes. 17 to 25 minutes, he's over this in 87% of games. Even if he gets less than that, still hitting an 82% hit rate over the 6.5 line. So really liking Quentin Post. I think they're going to limit Steph Curry as much as possible. Take the ball out of his hands. I went to his assists last time. I think they were going to limit him. He only scored 17 points. Probably should have just gone to the under points. And I was like, oh, he's probably going to get assists. He's going to dime up a little bit more. And really, they were just all over him the entire game, doubling whatever it might be. And even his assist wasn't even that good. So I would expect Curry to be able to get some assists a little bit more. It did drop from 5.5 to 4.5. It is heavily juiced. But I don't know. I think if you're the Rockets and Ime Udoka, you're like, we're not letting Steph Curry beat us in this game, and you're going to let some other guys score. So I'm looking at Podziemski, obviously a big game last time, kind of broke out of a slump, and he's a guy that can seem a little streaky. You see the games he's capable of having in a row, and then he goes on some cold streaks. He was definitely on a colder streak, had a big game last time, but again, because of that reason that Steph Curry is being a little bit more limited, Podziemski's got to do a lot more. So if you're looking for someone that's going to play a whole lot of time in the court, Podziemski could be your guy at 13.5. I do like Quentin Post, though, in the limited time he gets on the floor. And then Jimmy Butler at 20.5, also something that interests me. Just the injury is a little bit scary for me, but at the same time, he played 40 minutes and had 27 points last time. So I'm looking at a lot of this with the Warriors players, Podziemski, the Jimmy Butlers, even the Buddy Hield. He was a really good defender last game. Maybe that gets his confidence up to shoot a little bit better. Quentin Post, another guy that I really like. So all the role players, I think, for the Warriors are in pretty good spots here, even though they're on the road. That's one thing you gotta take into account. Quentin Post on the road in a playoff game, that could be a little bit scary, but at the same time, we can see what he's done in the amount of time that he's been getting. On the Rocket side of things, you guys already know who I'm going to go to. Jabari Smith Jr., 8.5 points. He has kind of let me down. We got a good read on him one time. He got a bad read on him the other time, but again, the volume just hasn't been there. The Rockets need to find some sort of offense. With Jalen Green not being, kind of getting played off the court, they're obviously the best offensive player out there. Maybe Sengun, maybe Fred VanVleet, but they need shooting, and they got a big shooter here in Jabari Smith Jr. and Tari Eason, and I just don't think they've been using him as much as they should be. So they got weak spot-up defense. Obviously, that can change in the playoffs, but similar types of players. We've been talking about this over and over and over again. Jabari Smith Jr. is in the role of similar types of players that are going over their lines a lot because they're going to be, giving up these spot-up differences or spot-up shooting throughout the game, and we've seen it. We've seen Jabari Smith Jr. knock down the shots when he's open. They just need to give him more looks, and Jalen Green needs to stop chucking the shots, and Sengun needs to stop bricking layups and shooting 12 for 28 as a center. Spread the wealth here for these Rockets guys who are a younger team. But yeah, I'd like to see Jabari Smith Jr. get some more shots, and I think he'll crush this 8.5 points line today. Definitely, probably my favorite play of the day is Jabari Smith over his 8.5 points here. So that's the first game. That's what we got going on. I do think Sengun is in a pretty good opportunity to score some points again, to get some rebounds again, because we know he's been playing pretty well. I do want to fade Jalen Green, honestly, at 15.5. I don't think he's going to have a good game today. He doesn't have a great matchup for the series, and he's so streaky, you can't really trust him. He's not giving you something crazy on defense either. Fred VanVleet's been the guy to look at. He's been, the most consistent. Last game he played, it looked like he just had a kid because he had that dad gene, a few years ago in the finals when they won that thing and had a kid and looked like an amazing player again. He did that kind of once again last game. So Fred VanVleet's been pretty good. Dylan Brooks is going to get under people's skin, but I don't want him to get ejected after me going to him. So really, Jabari Smith Jr. is the only guy that I can really trust. Amon Thompson has been playing really well, just has a really difficult time of getting to the basket against this team. But if he's going to get the volume, I think he's going to get over his line. It's just not a great matchup for him. So that leaves me with Jabari Smith Jr., and he's honestly my favorite guy to go to on the Rockets side of things. Now moving to Minnesota and the LA Lakers here, we got a bunch of stuff to really talk about. I think this is a harder game to cap, maybe in my opinion, because I do think in my mind the Lakers are going to win this game. I think it's better for the league if the Lakers win this game. Luka and LeBron are obviously tired. They come out hot in the first quarter, at least Luka does, and then they kind of start to fade off. LeBron was doing everything he could defensively last game in the fourth quarter, but didn't do much at all offensively. They played 46 minutes each, I'm pretty sure, last game. I think we expect more like 42 or 43 from them just because they were gassed. So we'll see a little bit of a difference in J.J. Redick's rotations. One of the main things is going to be not seeing Jackson Hayes much at all. I don't know why he's been starting and then plays 5 minutes and then doesn't play the rest of the game. DFS is obviously their main guy to go to here. They go small ball, which is going to be more opportunities to rebound the ball for like a guy like LeBron, even DFS, even Austin Reeves. I think a lot of these guys' rebounding lines with being small are going to be a pretty good spot here. On the other side of the court here, going to Minnesota, that's going to be hurting Rudy Gobert. That's why he's projected for only 27 minutes in this one. If he's going to see less than 30 minutes, I think fading his points and rebounds or points and assists or even PRA or something like that could be a pretty good solid move here. And then going to a guy like a Naz Reid that's going to be taking a lot of those minutes, and he's been really good in fourth quarters. Why not run him and get him a few more shots throughout the rest of the game? Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle obviously going to get a ton of time on the court here. I think Anthony Edwards is someone that could step up in an opportunity like this, closeout opportunity, and I think Julius Randle's a guy that could kind of shrivel under this pressure. We know he's not a very good playoff player, and I think 36% of his shots go in the playoffs before the series. He's been really good in the series, I will say, but I also think that inflates his lines a little bit. Could be a great opportunity to fade a guy like Julius Randle. So that's my thoughts on this game. I do think the Lakers are going to win this game. I think it's good for the league. I think it also just makes sense. It's going to be dependent on if LeBron and Luka can close this game out and not be looking like zombies out there trugging along and not being able to put up much in terms of a fight here right at the end of the game and let these Timberwolves get back into it. They're going to have the advantage. I'll start talking about Julius Randle first, because I do think this is the best opportunity to fade him. He's been playing really well. I did have a 16-point game in that first game. That's the game I'm kind of looking at here. That was an away game. They did win that game here too, so something they know has kind of worked. They didn't need huge offensive loads from Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards. They focused in on those guys, either as Julius Randle not being able to shoot a lot, only 11 shots. Same thing with Anthony Edwards, but then you got big games from like Jaden McDaniels, obviously the main guy there, and Anthony Edwards turning into a facilitator. But the reason I'm looking at this game is because he shot 4 of 6 from 3 and still stayed under this line. I don't think we can expect that much often, or very often, from a guy like Julius Randle. This is his normal hit rate on the points line, 44%. In away games, he's only over this in 31%. So I think if there's an opportunity to fade Julius, it would be today. I don't know if I could do points and assists. There's a better hit rate here. I don't think I'd do points, rebounds, and assists, just because if they go small, it's going to be more opportunity for grabbing rebounds for a bigger guy out there. So I think points at 20.5 on the under is probably the best move here. Going into LA, closeout opportunity. I just think Julius Randle isn't that guy to kind of step up in this opportunity. The weird thing is I'm also kind of considering fading Anthony Edwards lines here. Julius Randle is going to be my play of this game under the 20.5 points, but Anthony Edwards at 28.5, that seems a little bit too high to me as well. Obviously inflated by his 43-point game last time, but the Lakers can double this guy. They're going to be able to triple him sometimes. They're going to be able to throw a lot of different guys at him, because they're going small with the DFS, and a lot of these guys can play all positions. So I think he's going to have a very, very difficult time to score the ball today, and 28.5 just seems a little bit too high to me. At the same time, Anthony Edwards does seem to kind of have that killer mentality. Whether you say it's cocky or whether you say it's confidence, he kind of has that Kobe and Jordan feel to him, and it kind of seems like, okay, closeout game, even though he's still super young in this league, I think he's going to, could also just absolutely go off again. So probably not going to touch it. I do lead the under for Anthony Edwards, though. Not Rudy Gobert. I don't think he's going to get that much time in the court. PRA, rebounds and assists, whatever it might be, points and rebounds might be the best one to go to. Again, if we don't think he's going to play more than 30 minutes, if the Lakers go really small, which they kind of have been, 50% hit rate here. Rebounds and assists look like maybe the best move here at 9.5 on the under. He doesn't get the time in the court, 30 or less minutes. He's not going to be able to get this line very often. And against the Lakers, he has played 30 or less minutes in a lot of these games and stayed under pretty well. So I really do like this Gobert line here too. On the flip side of that, going to a guy like Naz Reid to score some points could all be an opportunity. Just if you're going to fade Rudy Gobert, it makes sense to go to the guy that's going to be coming in here and playing for him. On the Lakers side of things, Luka's at 31.5 for a reason. I do think he's probably going to have a good game. They've been letting him kind of do mostly anything he wants. He's been scoring really well against his team head-to-head. This is the playoffs so far, but he's had some big games, and I do think we could see that again. First quarter points is very, very intriguing to me. I don't know if I'll get there. If it's 9.5 is going to be that juiced, it's going to be a little bit of a harder thing to get to. But even at 10.5, he's been going over this. He starts the games really hot and gets tired throughout the game, so that could be a way to do it. I was also thinking about fading his rebounds and assists here because they've been, they're going to do what works. And Luka being able to take him away as being a playmaker and making him score, that's going to be, make him less valuable out there. So if that's what they're going to continue to do, it's been hard for him to get assists, it's been hard to get rebounds overall. I think that's absolutely something to look at. If you think because they're going to go small, it might help him be a good rebounder, you could say that as well. So maybe just look at his assists, but rebounds and assists is something I'm looking at fading for Luka, and maybe even just going to his points on the other side of things. And then DFS at 7.5. There's not much I'm really excited about, especially with the change in the lineup and the rotations that we might get from JJ Redick in this one. So Luka, LeBron, I mean, they're going to get a ton of time on the court. I can't trust Austin Reeves in this series. He has not been that good. He's been getting what is the volume? 13, 14, 18, and 14 shots. So again, his lines are pretty much right where they should be. I was looking at his rebounds and assists on the over here, just because he's been pretty good against the Timberwolves overall. He's been getting a ton of time on the court. So if we're going to get however many minutes we're going to get from him, 37 plus minutes or something. He's over this in 53% of games with Luka on the court. So it's something I'm thinking about. But yeah, nothing I'm too super excited about other than really fading Julius Randle in this opportunity and probably fading Rudy Gobert too. And then looking a little bit farther into this one, I do like Nickeil Alexander-Walker here. His points and rebounds line's at 5.5 right now. And obviously the hit rate on this is amazing. He's not going to get that much time on the court, but if Rudy Gobert is going to be coming off the court a little bit more, it's going to be a little bit more opportunity for these guys to get on the court. He did only play 12 minutes last game. I don't expect much more than that. He's expected for 15 minutes in this game. I'm going to do anywhere from 12 to 20 minutes because he has had 20 plus minutes in one of these games. It's a 76% hit rate right here. And in away games, interestingly enough, it's a 100% hit rate. So we're not asking for much. If he's going to get 15 minutes on the court, 5.5 points or rebounds, a guy that's been able to rebound pretty quickly in this amount of time, even the limited amount of time on the court. Not going to be anything too crazy, but if he chips in with 1 or 2, I mean, we're halfway there practically. Get a bucket in there or maybe a 3 or whatever it might be, and you're looking pretty good. So points and rebounds from Nickeil Alexander-Walker at 5.5, probably not a very popular play here. Something I'm looking at here. So that's going to do it for me in this one. So I have 4 official plays. We talked about a whole bunch of other ones as well, but these are going to be the 4 that I focus in on. Jabari Smith Jr. over 8.5 points. I really like this one. We talked about it in depth. I'm going to Jimmy Butler on the Warriors side of things. I know I talked about Quentin Post, but Jimmy Butler's just got the best opportunity, I think, here. And when he plays that much time in the court, he's projected for 40 probably minutes here. He just can score the ball. That's just what it comes down to. I think the defense is going to be focused in on Steph Curry. I think Jimmy Butler's got a pretty good opportunity to score the points here, better opportunity than I think Steph does. And I think they're going to give everything defensively to Steph Curry, and I think Jimmy Butler is going to be the guy here to score some points. But even regardless of that, if he's going to get 38 plus minutes, he's literally over this in 9 of 9 games. Even 36 plus minutes, he's over this in 77% of games. With Steph Curry on the court, still over in 77% of games. So just give Jimmy Butler time on the court, and he's going to be able to go over this line. I was thinking about points and assists just because he has a better hit rate, but I don't love his opportunity to get some assists in this matchup. I think the defense is really good, and I think a lot of his assists probably coming to Steph Curry on these. And if they're going to be limiting to Steph Curry, I just like the opportunity for Jimmy Butler to score the ball a little bit more. So 20.5 points is what I'm going to for Jimmy Butler. Julius Randle fading him at 25.5 points and assists. And then Nickeil Alexander-Walker, kind of a random guy. Hopefully he can get at least 15 minutes, would be great. And I think he can go over the 5.5 points and rebounds. So that's going to do it. Really good day yesterday, so going to try to ride that momentum. We've been very 50-50 still. We came off a bad day 2 days ago. We had a good day yesterday, and hopefully we're going to try to break that streak. And I think the 4 picks is the bread and butter. I've been giving out 5, sometimes even 6. I talk about a whole bunch, but I think sticking to 4, my 4 favorite plays, that's going to make a lot of sense. And again, just looking at this, all these plays really make sense and thought a lot of about these and put a lot of thought into them is what I'm trying to say. So there's the 4 official picks. If you want to get access to all my plays, read the description down below in this video. It will be a step-by-step process of how to do it. There's plenty of different ways to get in for free. It's a Discord community at the end of the day. If you sign up using my code to any of the PrizePicks or Underdogs or the Sleepers of the world, Betr, Underdog has been giving free squares and profit boosts. Better's giving us discounts every single day. Sleeper's been actually awesome in terms of their discounts and boosts that they've been giving out. So definitely check out those platforms. It's going to be a win-win-win situation when you sign up. You're going to get some sort of deposit boost. You're going to be able to take advantage of all those profit boosts and discounts that they're giving out. You're also going to get in a free month of the Discord for free. So it's really a win-win-win. Just read the descriptions down below. Make sure you use my code when signing up, just so I can get you that free month, but also it's a great way to support me in what I do here, and get a screenshot of it so I can just verify that you actually did it. Comment something down below, say, hey, I used your code, how can I get in? Or if you want, you can just join the free part of the Discord. All of this is described in the description down below. Sorry if this comes off confusing. But yeah, just read that, join the free part of the Discord. You can get in touch with me there, and that'll give you access to all those other channels. But But yeah, hopefully we have some good games tonight. 2 games, nothing too crazy. 4 good plays. Let's have a winning day again. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Good luck with all your bets. Peace out.